Today was the first day where I didn't go on any social sphere, including YouTube, and I just didn't do any of that. I know that it's good for me not to feel like I need to be on this phone at all times. I know that that's good. I also know that it's challenging to get to that point. I took the first step today. Now it's a matter of figuring out how to continue with my goals while not being consumed and not being adversely affected by this. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Kevin Allen is here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of K-Al Experience. This just feels right. This feels right here. I had a few episodes with some guests on it, which were amazing. If you haven't checked those out yet, definitely do yourself a favor and check those out. But today, man, I wasn't even planning on recording this episode. I feel compelled to. So my wife and I just got done watching a documentary. It's called The Social Dilemma, and it's on Netflix. One of my coworkers recommended it prior to me hearing about it, knowing about it. I don't watch too much Netflix, so I didn't get the notification or see the trailer. I love documentaries and I love things that are thought-provoking, and I also love learning and educating myself and making myself a better person. So this documentary talks about the dilemma that we as a society have with social media. This is kind of just a reaction video, sort of how I'm feeling today after completing it. Social media as a whole is a dangerous thing, as this documentary kind of relays in various different ways. Essentially, one of the biggest takeaways for me is that a lot of these social media companies are vying for our attention and are doing things deliberately to keep us on our phones as long as humanly possible for money, right? Because advertisements and things like that kind of show up as a result of what it is that we're interested in. I felt what they were talking about. I felt how we as a society, and let's forget about we, I felt how I relied on my phone for validation, relied on, posting things for validation from people that I know and people that I don't know, and how the ups and downs of that and how that's affecting, can affect your mood and things like that. I wouldn't even say it was anything excessive with me, but I did realize it was impacting me a little bit. When you get a notification from an app on your phone, whether that app is your Messenger app because someone sent you a text message, or if that app is Facebook and Facebook is notifying you that someone uploaded something, or if it's Bleacher Report, if there's all these breaking news about basketball and sports and things that are going on. No matter what that notification is for, whether it's for something very important, like a text message from someone about something urgent, or if it's something that's not very important, like someone shared to their story for the first time, I'm compelled to check my phone. And then now that my phone is out, now I'm looking at that and looking at other things. A while ago, I turned off notifications on my phone. I felt as though I was too in the know about every little thing that's going on with the New York Knicks on Bleacher Report, how this player said this person did this is going on. And at a time, I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm kind of like, I'm like involved with what's going on. I can share that with my friends. I could, talk about that. Not that there's a lot of good things to talk about with the Knicks anyway, but I was in the know with what was happening. Something happened with me a few years ago where I realized that wasn't that important. It's like you have this real estate in your brain, like in terms of how much stuff can you care about, can you worry about, can you think about, and knowing what was going on in sports to a T like that, not important to me. And to that same point, social media takes that to a whole nother level. I encourage everyone to watch this documentary. My wife and I, right when we were done watching it, we were talking about how this might not reach everyone or the people that it needs to reach. I told her, I said, as soon as I was done watching this, I was going to make an episode about this. I'm sharing with my followers, and I'm definitely going to be reaching out to like my friends and people in my circle, extended circle, to say, watch this documentary, because I think it's that important. I think it's that critical. When I finished watching the documentary, I had a bit of a dilemma myself, right? Because I'm making content. I mean, they're talking about the YouTube algorithm, and they're talking about how YouTube is their big thing, is suggesting videos and doing whatever they can do to keep you on that site. And I watch a ton of YouTube videos, and I make not a ton, but I make a lot of YouTube videos. And so I'm a part of that. And I'm still trying to figure that piece out a little bit, right? Because I started this channel, and I'm going to continue it for the reasons of doing something that I enjoy doing and uplifting and being a positive role model for people to look up to, for people to learn, be entertained by, and educated, inspired, all that good stuff. And that's not going anywhere. So man, so after we finished watching this episode, I literally went to the kitchen, I took my iPad, and I just said, all right, I'm getting rid of Facebook on my iPad. I'm getting rid of Instagram on my iPad. I got rid of Reddit. I've been spending a lot of time, trying to build my brand, and knowing that social media is a very important tool to use for building your brand. It was taking a little bit of a toll on me. Just continually chasing, following people, networking with people, networking on social media and all that. And I said, I need to take a little break. So I deleted from my iPad, and I deleted everything from my phone as well. Today was the first day where I didn't go on any social sphere, including YouTube, and I just didn't do any of that. I taught I had students that I taught today. I had an awesome new client for my tutoring that I tutored today as well. We had date night. My wife and I had one of the best date nights ever. Just a great conversation. Phones in my pocket, not taking out once. Didn't need to, didn't feel compelled to. Same with her. I think this is the start of something, something new. I feel kind of similar to how I felt doing the green smoothie cleanse, knowing that I'm doing something good for myself. I know that it's good for me not to feel like I need to be on this phone at all times. I know that that's good. I also know that it's challenging to get to that point. But I think I took the first step today. Now it's a matter of figuring out how to continue with my goals while not being consumed and not being adversely affected, by this. At the end of the documentary, they were talking about things that you can do now to kind of get started, and they were talking about the notifications, which I urge all of you, go through your phone, turn off any notification that you don't need to be notified about every time. Consider turning off those Instagram, Facebook notifications, YouTube recommendations. At the end, it was follow us on social media. And I was like, huh? And it was just kidding. And it said, join the conversation at, I think it was called thesocialdilemma.com. A lot of these people on this documentary, most of them were former executives and different levels in these social media and Silicon Valley companies that are speaking out and feeling a call to action. A lot of them had what they're currently doing, and part of the Humane Technology Project, and working for these different starting these different nonprofits. It sounded like that's kind of bettering this, and that's not my call to action. To do something. My call right now is to share it with people. Maybe you might be seeing this a link for this video on social media, perhaps. It's quite possible. But for now, yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I just wanted to encourage you guys to check that out when you get a chance. And it feels good sitting in front of the camera like this, talking directly to you. It's been a while since we've done it this way. I'm looking forward to getting some more videos out like this in the near future. I hope you guys are all doing well. And that's what I wanted to leave it at. So I'm gonna go back upstairs now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What should I do? I'll go upstairs, go spend a little more time with my wife if she's not sleeping yet. We were watching the episode the documentary yesterday, and sometimes when we're watching something and a certain amount of time has passed and I haven't heard from her, I haven't heard her make a sound or say anything, and then I just kind of come to it. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, Jessica has to be sleeping right now. There's no way that she could be this quiet and this still for this long. So I'll just instead of looking over there to see, I'll just take the control. And there's a little hint for you guys. You can do this. I don't know if I just hit pause and I just wait a few seconds, and I'm if she's awake, and then she'll say something clearly. Why'd you pause it? What's up? Are you okay? She wouldn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. And if she's not awake, like it was the case yesterday, then I'm just oh, okay. So maybe I either finish watching it, or maybe most of the time I'm nah, I'll finish watching it with you tomorrow. Let me just take this opportunity to come downstairs and either do some music stuff or play some Smash Brothers. All right, I'm out of here. I'm out. This is a cool episode. Cool, casual episode. This is what I'm talking about. Peace.